Hi friends, this is Jeanette, yoga therapist, and in this video I'm going to teach you a hip stability routine that's going to be safe enough for people who have pain, gentle enough, and of course, as always, the rule of thumb is let your symptoms be your guide. If anything feels uncomfortable, try doing a smaller movement, less resistance, or if that doesn't do the trick, rest, wait for another day. Every day your body's different, okay? So why do we want to have a hip stability routine? Well, the hips are the foundation upon which your spine is sitting, is perched. So stable hips can contribute to a stable spine. The two really go together. So let's get busy with this routine. You're going to possibly need something to put your head on if you have a little bit of neck discomfort when you're laying flat on the floor. You can use a blanket folded up as I have here, or a folded towel, or even a very small pillow. You just don't want to be pushing your head up that too much. Also, I will be using one of my homemade blocks from a towel, and you can check out my video on how to make these. They're very simple and extremely useful. Let's get started. We're going to lay down on the back. And the very first thing we want to do when it comes to having stable hips is a few pelvic tilts, because this is going to get us ready for all the other things that we need to do, okay? So place your block or towel between your legs, right above the knee, okay? Put your hands on your belly, take a breath. And as you exhale, pull your lower abdominals in and up towards the belly button, and then flatten your low back towards the floor. Using the core muscles only, you can see that there's a big scooped out hollow space here. Inhale and release. So you want to make sure you're not using yin leg muscles here. And if you're not sure whether or not you are, go ahead and put a hand on your booty. Take a breath. As you exhale, squeeze a little bit just to make sure that those muscles feel soft. Those muscles should feel soft, okay? All right, so let's bring the hips into this, right? So if we're doing pelvic tilts, that's for the core. If we want to integrate core and hip together, we can give this block a little squeeze, still not using any part of the leg here, just the core and the inner thighs at this point. So take a breath and exhale, pull your lower abdominals down towards the floor. Lift your pelvic floor while you're at it and squeeze the block. Okay, and inhale, release everything. Try it again. Lift the pelvic floor. Pull the abdominals down towards the floor. Scoop out your belly. Squeeze the block. Release. Exhale. Pelvic floor, lower abdominals. Squeeze the block. A little gentle squeeze, not a big one, okay? Good. And now we can add a little bridge. So this is a move that is really uncomfortable sometimes for some people. I just want to put that out there right away. So certainly not for everyone, but if that's what you're experiencing, you're not the only one, and you know the rule, right? Take it easy. Do it a very small one, or just rest and wait another day or two. So we're going to put the bridge together with the two movements that we've already done, the pelvic tilt and the block squeeze. So take a breath. Exhale, do your pelvic tilt. Squeeze the block. Now press into the feet and lift the hips just a little and lower down. Okay, so what do we have here? We have full integration of the midline from the knees to the sternum. Exhale, pull up your pelvic floor, pull the belly down, pull your ribs down in front, squeeze the block, and lift. A little bit higher this time if it feels comfortable. If you have already found your limit, then stay there. Exhale. Do the block squeeze as you're doing the pelvic tilt. Lift. Lower. So now, as we're lifting the hips, let's try to lengthen out the low back by reaching the tailbone towards the knees. So this is telling the hips and the low back where they should be in relation to each other when we're standing. Okay? Now, you can do anywhere from, 5 repetitions if this is a big deal for you, all the way up to 20 as you get stronger and stronger. But however many you do, be sure that as you do this, you're remaining relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed, your jaw is soft. You're not working and tight and straining. It's an easy movement, and the breath is your key. You will know if you're working too hard, if your breath starts to become erratic, right? We want the breath smooth and easy as we do all of this. Training the nervous system, yes, we can move the body and be well and calm and safe, right? Next, we're going to move on to a different type of bridge. This is going to be a wide-legged bridge. It's going to work specifically the gluteals, really important for hip stability, okay? So take your feet wide. The heels almost to the edge of the mat. You can let your toes point out a little bit here. Take a breath. As you exhale, just lift all in one piece. Don't worry about a pelvic tilt or anything. Just lift and lower. Nice and easy, nice and slow. We're going to do 10. Again, you're feeling contraction in your glutes, but the rest of your body is relaxed. Your low back is relaxed and easy. If you feel like your low back is working really hard with this move, take a break, pull your knees in towards your chest. And when you come back to it, make your movement smaller. Really focus on just getting a little activation in your glutes and not so much in the back. Sometimes backing off, making the movement smaller, makes it possible to target the muscles you're trying to fire up, especially if they are used to not doing their fair share of the work, right? Sometimes we get back pain because the back is working way too hard. The other members of the team are not pulling their own weight, so to speak. So we approach gradually, increasing strength over time, making the movement a little bit easier. Okay, so this is the last one. And now we're going to try stretching the legs out on the floor. Okay, that feels nice. Inhale your arms up overhead. Just stretch out your body for a second. Wiggle your toes. Let your toes go in and out. Good. Now bring the hands down. All right. So take a breath. As you exhale, reach through your right heel. Just reach out straight and release. On the next exhale, reach through the left heel. We're going to do this a few more times. Let's do a total of 5 on each side, right? So this is round number 2. What you're doing here is you're just lengthening out the front of your hip. So be sure to squeeze all the muscles of your leg in towards the bone, the quads, the glutes here. And as you reach, you'll feel a stretch in the front of the hip. Deep, deep down inside, especially if you're really tight. If you're not super tight here, you might not actually feel this as a stretch, and that's perfectly fine too. You're still getting benefit, lengthening out your hips. That's round 3. We're entering now round 4. Notice the heel comes up off the floor a little bit each time. And notice that this is a very small movement. This is the last one coming up here. Okay, good. All right. Now we're going to roll over onto the side. So that handy dandy towel block is now going to become a pillow for me. It's just the right size, okay? Top hand goes on the floor in front of you for stability. You're going to be leaning forward just a little bit here. Bottom leg comes up, and this leg comes to, first bring it to about 45, and then bring it down a little, right? This is leg lift, but we're using rotations. So inhale, lift the leg with the toes pointing down, and right away, you're feeling it right here. That's what we're targeting, okay? And then lower the leg with the toes pointing down, and then rotate the toes up. Do the leg lift now with the toes pointing up. It's okay to bend your knee. It's not okay to lean back. Okay? We want to lean forward. So lower the leg with the heel pointing down. Another thing I want to bring your attention to is your hips. They should be very still. Your pelvis. Hips are stacked. Pelvis is still. Think about that pelvic tilt we did. Those muscles are on here for support and stability, especially here at the bottom of the rib cage. So we're turning the toes down, and we'll lift the leg on the inhale. We're holding, right? You notice that? Yes. Oops, that's not what we're doing. Sorry. Lower the toes to the floor. Then we rotate and we try it the other way. This is number 4. And then we can do this, toes pointing down. So this is number 6. Oh boy, these are not easy, okay? So I think 6 is enough. Take a break. Hit that muscle. So we're trying to target the muscles here, right on the side. I call it the side butt, but it's literally the side here. It's a very strange sensation if you're not used to it. We're going to flip around and do the other side. Okay. Move my mic here. Good. So again, head onto the support, arm wrapping around the support, hand in front for more stability. Bottom leg is up. Top leg, take it to 45 and then bring it down a little, right? Okay. Start with the toes pointing down. Inhale up. Only as high as you can without doing that. You see what I did? I brought the spine into the movement. So my leg went higher, but my hip isn't getting any stronger from that. I'm just putting strain on my spine when I do that. The movement comes from the spine, and we're not trying to do that. We're trying to strengthen the hips. Okay, so we lower the leg, and then we turn the foot, toes pointing up. When you start to get stronger, you can go all the way up to like 10, 12, or 14 repetitions here. We're stopping at 6 today. Wow. Okay. And you might notice one leg is a lot stronger than the other. That's typical too. For me, this is my stronger leg. My left leg, I could do way more of these on my left leg than I could on my right. Okay, so we are now going to go into laying on the back again, and we're bringing back the head support. So, lying, actually, have your feet on the floor. Straighten out one leg. As you inhale, slide that leg across the floor. Toes are pointing up. Feeling it right here in the same spot that we were doing before. This is a really important spot, and that's why we're doing it twice. But this time we don't have the alternating rotation. We're just doing toes pointing straight up. So right at the ceiling, not even cheating out a little bit, okay? All right, let me bring it back down. And yeah, we did a hold. I was talking through it, but that was intentional. We're holding for 5 seconds. So inhale, bring the leg out, hold for 5 seconds, and continue to squeeze. So that leg isn't going to move anywhere, but you're still getting that muscle to fire. Exhale, the leg comes back to center. 3 more. Don't let your pelvis move here. Keep the pelvis still. You guys are doing great. Okay. Last one. Toes pointing straight up. If you're not really feeling it here, look at your toes. They might not be pointing where you want them. Or you might be using your pelvis, moving your pelvis to try to get the leg higher. Take a look at that too. So let's stretch out that hip now. So cross your leg over your thigh. You can bring the leg in like this. Okay. Sometimes you actually would get a big stretch depending on who you are. You might get a big stretch just doing that, just pushing the leg away. Some people say that's a really big stretch for them, right? And then third option, of course, is bringing the leg up. I would only recommend bringing your leg up if you can do it without lifting your head like I've done. Look, if I bring my leg up, I don't have to lift my head. So if you have to lift your head to do that, you're putting strain on your neck. It's not worth it. Okay, so let's do this same thing on the other leg. Stretch out your opposite leg on the floor and have its partner bent with the foot on the floor. Inhale, bring that leg out to the side, toes pointing straight up. Squeeze, 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 and then bring it back down. Well done. 4 more. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't move your pelvis when you bring your leg up. This is number 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And last one. And bring it back down. Well done. Okay, same leg crosses over its partner. Again, your options are to push the leg away or to pull the leg in or to pull both legs in. All right. Let's now do the very last one, the very last part of this sequence, which is a psoas strengthening exercise. Now, in order to do this, you want a big arch in your back, like a rainbow arching away from the floor. So wiggle your shoulders towards your hips. I don't actually want this here for this one. It's too much strain on the neck. Okay? Pick a leg and bring that knee in. Okay? Straighten out your other leg. Okay? So you want to be able to do this without flattening your back on the floor. So we did the pelvic tilt, flattening the back on the floor. That was strengthening transversus abdominis, this muscle down here. Now we're trying to strengthen the muscle that runs from the leg up the front of the hip into the spine. Okay? Different muscles. So tilting the pelvis forward is going to give us access to that muscle. Right? So if it's not possible for you to reach your knee like this and have your back arched, you can always use a strap or a belt or a towel to make your arms longer. Okay? But the forward tilt of the pelvis is where it's at. So inhale, lift the leg, don't let the pelvis tilt. See, I'm not even bringing my leg up all the way. Exhale, lower it down. If you were to bring the leg all the way up, you would have to tilt the pelvis back. You would have no choice. And it's not about how high you get the leg. It's about activating a specific muscle. Now, don't worry if you don't feel it right away. What it feels like is a deep muscle down in here. Sometimes it takes a week or two of doing this exercise before your body can actually really get that muscle turned on. And this is just from not using it in the right way. You know, this muscle is always working. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be able to stand up and walk around. However, it's not functioning optimally, which can cause back pain. Okay, so we'll make this the last one. Let's stretch out for a second. Push on your thighs, lengthen your back. All right, and now we'll do the other side. So we're wiggling the shoulders back towards the hips. I believe we did 8 on the other side, so let's do 8 on this side. You certainly don't have to do 8. I know when I started doing these, it was 5 was my limit. It can be surprising, it really can, how seemingly simple movements can be a big challenge, even for really fit people. So if you're experiencing a little bit of difficulty here, or even a lot of difficulty, it's not you, and it's not your fault. You're not the only person, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you have now found something that will strengthen you. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's the last one. Well done. Lengthen out again. Yeah. Let's loosen up, okay? Bring your arms out to the sides. Feet wide. One knee goes in. Other knee goes in. Not a big twist here. Okay? We don't want to twist the low back right now. We just want to get those hips rotating a little. Good. All right. To get up, come to your side without twisting your spine, and then press up. Thank you for joining me for a hip stabilization routine. Return to this routine daily or 3 times a week, whichever you prefer, working up to higher amounts of repetitions over time slowly, giving yourself grace if you find that any particular day your body is not up to it. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. Also, if you are interested in more information on how to use yoga to recover from chronic pain, please visit my website, JeanetteConnery.com, for lots more resources and information. Until next time, thank you. Bye.